What's up, everyone? It's Rico and Courtney Gonzalez, Mr. and Mrs. 757. And today we have a special guest. This guy is the best at credit repair here in Virginia Beach. You got to meet him. I'm going to pull him up. Mr. Terrell Goode. Say what's up, Terrell.
Hey, everybody. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it, Rico, Courtney. Best
Yeah.
bosses in the 757. Can't beat it.
Whoop, whoop. Say what's up, Court.
Hey, everybody.
All right, we're just going to jump right into this. So, Terrell, we've done a podcast with you before, but this time we want to know about you, man. We want to see what's going on, your trials and tribulations, how you persevered through to get to the top spot in 2020, 2021, 2022, and 2023 in credit repair with your company, Next Step Credit Repair. So just tell us, where you from, man?
I was originally born and raised in Brooklyn, New York. I moved to Virginia on and off a couple times throughout my life. I never really liked it, probably because I didn't have a whole lot of friends here. Most of my friends were in New York. So every time I would come here, I would kind of run back to New York after a couple of months or whatever, but ultimately decided to settle and stay right around like 2007, 2006, 2007. I stayed for good. So I've been here ever since.
Gotcha. And what did you do before, a little bit of background on yourself, what did you do before the whole company thing?
Before credit repair, I worked at a home improvement company for 10 years. I kind of worked my way up from very, very, very kind of starter manager role. But I've always done sales. And one thing I've always kind of been good at is, selling salt to a slug, right? And before the home improvement manager spot, I was doing door-to-door marketing for a couple different home improvement companies. So, that's kind of what I did before that. I also worked at Hardee's a little bit. I worked at some Walmart, had a little Target in there. So, I've had a lot of different jobs, but it was only because I didn't have anything else to do. And, growing up, where I grew up and how I grew up, my grandmother who raised me, she always told me, don't waste your time, right? Don't waste your day. Make the most out of each day. And, only working 8 hours and then, I'm 19, 20, I'm spending the other 8 hours just sitting there not doing nothing. So, decided to take up second jobs. And I pretty much had a second job until I reached the home improvement job that I was at for the last 10 years before this company. So those are some of the things I did before. I worked my way up from very, very low management role. When I was there, I had 4 bosses. So Robbie, Connor, Kevin, and Tina. Those were all my bosses. By the time year 4 had ran around, I was all of their bosses. So
nice.
Yeah, just kind of working my way right past it.
When you were doing that, were you doing a lot of door-to-door sales type stuff?
Yeah, absolutely. So my role at the home improvement company initially was just to build a door-to-door marketing staff, right? But that slowly turned into doing an exceptional job at that. And then, the owner giving me more responsibility kind of as it went on, right? He seen that I really wanted it and I really cared about it. Everything I've ever done, I've always gave it 100,000%, right? And I think people always see that in my work ethic, that I'm always here, I'm always working. Anytime you talk to me, you're like, bro, what you doing? I'm working. Right? Because my work ethic is bar none, at least I think so. And the owner seen that, so him giving me more responsibility, some of their responsibilities to kind of see what I would do with it, and building a successful company, and we were able to build it up all the way to $15 million a year. So
nice, good God.
Yeah. So in a short amount of time, when I got there, they were doing about $250,000 a year in revenue. And by my 3rd year, we were doing 15 million.
That's awesome.
Sure is. So you definitely had a great tenure there. You helped build that company up. And I know I used to do some door-to-door sales too. That will build your confidence and people's skills up. People telling you no, how to let the nose slide off your back. What is this? Let the nose slide off your back like it's nothing to you. So that kind of, I know where that comes from, man. I know how that can build you up for sure. So tell us about how you got the idea of credit repair and starting this business, man.
Okay. So Next Step Credit Repair actually came about in 2017. I had took this webinar with this guy named Mike, the credit game at the time, and I was really looking into my credit personally because I wanted to rent this townhouse for my son. You know, he was at the point where he kind of needed some extra space. We were in an apartment, and I was like, man, I really want to rent this townhouse. You know, I'm making good money. I'm probably making $1,000, almost $1,200 a week. And you know, I went and applied for the townhouse, and they said that I didn't have any like established credit. Of course, I'm like, what's that? You know what I mean? I ain't talking about. And he's like, you know, I can't approve the application, man. Everything else looks perfect. You know, you're willing to give me 6 months up front. Like I love that, but you know, your credit is not great. So, you know, I started looking into it and took this little webinar thing where you can learn how to fix your own credit. And I started subscribing to these emails from different, you know, credit repair people and kind of joining in groups. And then it kind of sizzled off a little bit because we ended up finding a townhouse next door to the one that we were looking at. So we ended up moving in, and it never came back to the front of my mind again until I needed it again. And that's just like most people. Credit doesn't really come to the front of your mind until you need it again. And this time I had paid a girl here in Norfolk to fix my credit, and she didn't do anything. And that really had me hot, I'll be honest with you. I paid $1,500 to get these items removed off of my credit report, or at least get me some direction on what I should do with them. And ultimately, I didn't get that. So I started looking into starting my own credit repair company and really fixing my own credit. And that's kind of how this came about. And I did about 26 people for free just to figure out if there was something that could be done.
Because you said 26 people for free?
Yeah, for free. Yep. My experience of it was that it couldn't be done. Like credit could not be fixed. There's nothing that you could do because I had paid her to do it, and she said there was nothing that she could do. So my experience in it was that it could not be fixed. But you know, constantly seeing credit repair ads or people with stories or you know people with success stories kind of continue to lead me in that direction of this can be done. Right. And I started working on my own. I fixed my own. My wife, Naja, I ended up fixing hers. I fixed my brother's up in New York. And then I ended up fixing my sister's. And then I just posted on Virginia Beach Yard Sale Group. I was like, hey, I just started a credit repair company. Who wants free credit repair? And I ended up fixing a couple of people in there. One of them, Ebony Spencer, she's a life insurance agent. Now she has multiple Airbnbs, multiple properties, a boating company. So she's doing fabulous with her. So I ended up fixing hers for free. And then a couple of other people ended up fixing for free as well. And that's when I was like, man, this thing can really be done. And I broke Naja's printer. She was mad. So doing people for free kind of led to that. And, you know, she said, we really need to get a business out of this. If you're going to be doing this, staying up late, coming home from work and doing this. And that's kind of how I was born. She actually came up with the name. She came up with the slogan. She did the original website. She came up with a lot of it. Right? I was just really the front man. I knew how to bring people in, and she knew how to run the joint.
So. Right.
There's a saying that behind every successful man is a successful woman. And I believe, you know, she's definitely your backbone. She's your secret sauce, and she's a gem.
She's definitely a gem. She came up with all of this, like literally every single integral part of it. She came up with, I get.
Where's she at? We got the wrong person on the podcast.
I get all the glory. So yeah, it's all good.
Well, yeah. So there's another saying: the man's the head and the woman's the neck that turns the man, right? Turns the head, whatever it's called. Yeah, that's awesome. So, man, it's so exciting to hear these origin stories. But like getting into it, like starting the business, was it hard? Was it hard to get your building and all this stuff?
I wouldn't say it was hard. It was challenging. So I'll use the word challenging more than I'll use the word hard, because I had just come from a successful situation in building somebody else's company, like literally bottom to top. I built every binder.
15 million.
Yeah, I built every binder, every sales process, every canvas manual, the Salesforce system that they was using, the automated system, all of it. Built it all. Found the window company that we were going to use, all of that. So, all the integral parts of that business I built. So building this one, I just thought, hey, look, it'll be the same. I tell you, the one thing that was definitely hard was the tax stuff.
Okay.
Understanding the tax stuff inside
Yeah.
of a business, because that was the one part I didn't handle. The making of the money and the managing of the money I could do, but I didn't understand the tax part, how it needed to be paid and why. So that was probably the hardest part. The building part was easy. I've built plenty of teams before, plenty of successful teams. So my first thing in my own business was to hire me a team, hire me some help, start off with one person, and I did. I hired Francis, who was my administrative assistant for almost 2 years. I think I had 10 clients and I hired him. So, I knew first step was to get an assistant or some type of partner, because I was still working the 9 to 5 at the time. I was still at the home improvement company. So I really
Oh,
needed
Oh,
somebody
so
wow.
okay.
to do the day-to-day of the operations while I worked. So I would take consultations from 9 o'clock in the morning until 12 o'clock in the afternoon, because I didn't have to be to work at 12:30. And then I would do more consultations from 9 o'clock at night to 12 o'clock midnight. So those were my consultation hours.
I
So
love it. That's like grind. That's like
yeah.
whatever it takes. I love
Yeah,
it.
and the work ethic that he had since he was a young man kind of has poured out into this, and that's what I love about Terrell at Next Set Credit Repair is that there's no doubt in my mind that if I hand him one of our clients, that they're gonna be in great hands, that they're gonna be taken care of, they're gonna be followed up with, and by no means whatsoever is he gonna drop the ball and make me look bad because, when we refer somebody to another business or but another partner, it's a reflection of us. So by all means, Terrell knows what he's doing and he's super beyond helpful. And that work ethic just speaks to all that.
Absolutely. So Terrell, what motivates you nowadays?
Um, I want to retire in 2 years. So
2 years? We
that's
only got you for 2 years?
yeah, I think that's the biggest thing is building an infrastructure that
Okay.
can sustain or outlast me.
Right.
Um, One of the things I always, I'm a motivation guy, right? I like to, for my family, right? I think there's only, I want to say 3 homeowners in my family, but like nobody who has any money, right? That could like pass it down to the next generation wealth wise, right? And I
Right.
think that's what I'm trying to create at this company is an opportunity for wealth. And I think that's what drives me at this point, because my money's fine, right? I'm doing well. But I think at this point, it's like, okay, what can I leave my son and my daughter
Mhm.
business wise so that they don't have to go through all the trials and tribulations that
Right.
I went through as far as, working for somebody not always appreciating all your contributions towards what they have going on and you helping them build their dream, right? When sometimes you can be building your own. So I really want my kids to understand, if they want to go and work for somebody else, I'm down with that. I'm totally fine if they don't want this business. But I think what drives me is keeping the opportunity alive that they may have that if they do want to one day. You know what I mean? And for all that don't know, my son's autistic, right? And I think this is a fantastic business where he doesn't have to do a lot to continue to have it successful. The infrastructure will already be there. So just continuing to build a team, a long-term team of young, driven, social media savvy young individuals. I got a couple older cats too, but the young, Gabbies of the world and Danielles and, Jerome's, like 22, 23. You know what I mean? I'm teaching them a skill that they can have and make forever here. Like they can just take it anywhere and make, a ton of income for themselves and their family too. So I think that's what drives me these days, I'll be honest with you, Rico. And just getting to a million. I think that's my biggest thing. I want to be a millionaire, right? I want to be the first millionaire in my family, and I want to take care of. My grandma's 77. She's the one who raised me. I want to buy her a house here soon. That's on my list again. My sister, she recently experienced some heart issues. and she has a lot of stress with like her kids and things of that nature. So, I'd like to provide her with some additional help, maybe a part-time nanny that I can pay for her. You know what I mean? She's a principal at a school, and that's a lot of stress on its own, a charter school in New York. You know what I mean? And then she has 3 kids of her own. So that, my brother still lives in New York. I want to move him out of there. Like, I got so many ideas in my head, but it all requires this.
Right. Exactly.
And, those things, require me to go hard just for a little while longer. I'm almost there, so I'm not, I ain't too concerned. I just got to keep up what I'm doing, and then we'll be there. And before you know it, they'll have everything that they need as well.
That's awesome. I have no doubt about it that you can absolutely achieve those goals. My Bible says that a good man leaves an inheritance to his children and his children's children. And by what you're saying is, it's not just, yes, you want to be able to leave a chain of wealth to your children, but there's also a mentality that you're going to be leaving with your kids as an inheritance that they're living in today, which is absolutely awesome. And my Bible also says that money is the answer to all things, and there's nothing wrong with wanting or desiring money. And I love that you said what motivates me is, the cash, because what the cash can do and how it will bless your family and how it will impart and make things easier and better for those that you love, which all kind of exposes your heart, which I absolutely love.
Totally 100% agree. Terrell, you got a lot of goals and you're achieving them one by one. I totally believe in you as well. But I know you're a busy guy. I appreciate you coming out and doing this for us, with us. But like, as a busy business owner, what are some things that help you stay productive throughout the day? I mean, are you jumping in cold ice baths in the morning? What are you doing to stay energized?
So I start my day early, right? I believe in starting your day at 4 a.m. allows you to have a better energized day, right? Because you can get more stuff done. And
hold on, did you say 4 a.m.?
4 a.m. every day, Monday through Sunday. Start my day 4 a.m. Monday through Sunday, right? So no days off. I went to a seminar with Bill Gates in Washington, D.C. And he said in this seminar, like, he only sleeps 5 hours a day. And it's the best sleep, the most productive sleep he can have, right? And Warren Buffett says the same thing. Warren Buffett's like 99, right? And just understanding that, hey, the 5 hours that you get, right? Because you got 19 hours left in the day. If you can maximize those 19 hours, you'll sleep better in those 5. So, but you have to learn how to maximize the 19, because the 19, those hours will keep you going, right? Imagine if you woke up, right? It's 4 a.m. By 5 a.m., you've already made $5,000. Do you think you might feel more energized?
I feel energized, boy.
Right? Now,
I'm going back to bed.
Now it's 6 a.m., right? Your team is up, they're awake, they're feeling motivated, but you have to keep up that energy for them for the next, let's call it 4 or 5 hours. Right? Now you check again, you've made an additional $5,000. You think you might stay energized until 4 o'clock when you got to go home?
Heck yeah.
You're going to be fine. Right? Now, if you got little ones at home like I do, right? They want to play, they want to color, they want to have a little bit of a game time, or whatever the case may be. My son plays video games. I kick the video games with him. We get online, kick some butt. And, my daughter, she wants to draw and color and make things. And so we have art and craft style. And so, we do a lot of those things too. And so, that's what kind of keeps me energized, is just, always doing something, moving, action. I have appointments, for the most of the day. So I'm always talking to somebody or always dealing with something. So, I don't slow down, because I'm always being active, either, physically, or I'm being active mentally, or I'm being active emotionally. You know what I mean? So I'm always doing those things. But no coffee. I'm not a coffee drinker.
What? Courtney, that's our fuel. That's our breakfast. That's our lunch and dinner. I need to start waking up at 4 a.m. and no coffee. See what happens. We'll just film it the rest of the day. I'll be like,
once you get into it, that'll, Gwen Smith, she was my manager at Hardee's. She put me on the 3 a.m. shift. So I used to work 3 a.m. to 12 p.m. at Hardee's. And she's the one who got me waking up at 3 a.m. And she was one of the most successful people I had ever met, to that point in my life. You know what I mean? She had a condo. She had 6 rental properties. She had 4 cars. And all she was a general manager at the Hardee's. You know what I mean? So I'm like, this is crazy. If I start waking up at 3 a.m. too, I know I'm going to have a good life too. If she's got one just doing this stuff. And she's always telling me, Terrell, the earlier you start your day, you can get more things done. You see, by 7 o'clock, right, I'm already locked loaded for the day. We already done made, thousands of dollars here. Like the morning was always crazy with her. So the same, try it out, see what happens. I guarantee you won't dislike it after a while. You'll be like,
4 a.m. I'm
feeling good. You gotta go to sleep at a good time. That's important. Gotta go to sleep at a good time. So you can't go to sleep at like midnight.
What time you go to bed, Terrell?
I'm in bed at 8:30. So I'm in the bed at 8:30. Generally, me and Naja will either watch a show or she'll read or I'll read a book or something like that. And then generally I'm asleep at probably about 9:30, 10 o'clock. I'm out. I don't do no late nights. I don't do no clubbing. I don't do no bars. I don't do no hanging with no friends. I don't do that.
Yeah, ain't nobody got time for that.
Nobody got time for that.
I got a goal trying to hit.
That's right.
Keep going, brother. Let me see here. What else I got for you?
I also want to move.
You want to what?
I want to move to an island. So
to an island?
Yeah. Fiji, to be exact.
There you go. Sounds way better.
So they actually will pay you $60,000 a year and give you a business in the first 5 years if you become a citizen there. So,
not too shabby.
Trying to move to Fiji, get some 60 G's.
Yeah, not too shabby to live there.
Yeah. You got those
$60,000 for 5 years. That's pretty good.
I'll take it. Well, let's see. What are can you share any like super successes or maybe some failures that you've had that you overcome throughout starting your business and becoming so successful with it?
Yeah. So in 2020 December, I was going to close this company.
What?
Yep, I was going to close it. We had such a high February through I want to say October. That I never even took into account the load that can come from the holidays, right? So I didn't take into account that. And so I didn't plan financially for that. And I think I spoke on this, a little earlier about the taxes. I was only saving 10% of the money for the taxes.
Yeah.
Because that's what I had read on the IRS website. It said 10%.
Oh boy.
But it's actually 35%. Right, plus the additional 10%. So, yeah, just highway robbery. Totally. And I didn't realize I had to save an additional 15% for state, right? And I didn't know nothing about paying taxes quarterly or anything like that. So, we get to November, December. I think we have about 260 cancellations. We're probably down to like 80 clients, but I have 5 employees that I need to pay, and I didn't want to fire them, and I didn't also want to come clean about, my mishandling of the income and my mishandling of the money. You know what I mean? I just didn't account for having such a low. And, I had wrapped up all these business bills. My business bills was at like $7,000 a month. You know what I mean? I had got all these systems and things in place because I was preparing for first quarter of 2021. I just skipped right past quarter 4 of 2020. I was like, oh, we set. I'm not worried about that. So I was getting stuff ready for the first quarter of the next year and not anticipating that low. And, I ended up having to max out all my credit cards. I took cash advances off of all of them to give everybody a Christmas bonus and to pay them throughout the month of November and December. And I went into debt. I want to say about $46,000. I went into credit card debt, about $46,000. And so that was probably the lowest point that I had in business was, almost, losing my business and not, being able to pay the people that I had made a commitment to. High-wise, we're on a high right now, right? This is the highest we've ever been in the last. So we've got 30 people signed up this month. We had 74 last month. 70 the month before.
Mm.
So, in new business revenue, we're doing an extra $30,000 a month, right? So we're almost at our 100K a month goal. So, about $20,000 from that. So, we're actually doing pretty well. We got thousands of clients now. We just had a radio ad drop. I got a TV commercial coming out. Got a lot of stuff cooking in 2022.
Awesome.
I'm adding 5 more staff members. So I'm adding 5 more in-office staff members. So that's going to be pretty good as well. So I think we're at a super high right now. And I'm not in debt. So.
That's awesome.
You the
that
man.
actually helps out a lot.
Hey, let me ask you, when you were at your lowest low, sorry to take you back there, but I got to know, what was it that made you get off your butt and keep going with this thing?
My aunt, she raised me as a teenager, and we had a nice long talk, and I told her that I was going to shut it down, and she said you a quitter now?
Oh,
you're a quitter now. That's not how I raised you to be, a quitter. I mean, if you want to quit, and she used the B word. And so, I told her, I said, well, I ain't no quitter. I don't have the funds. She's like, you can't find the funds? Did you find the funds the first time to start it? I said, well, yeah, I mean, I had a job at the time. She's like, you have a job now. The people who depend on you, that's your job. Their families are your job. You know what I mean? Their kids, that's your job. To make sure that you show up every single day and you show up for them. If you ain't going to show up for yourself, you show up for my niece, you show up for my nephew, you show up for my niece-in-law, and you show up for the employees who have kids and families, right? And, it's easy to close your business. It's hard to get back on the wagon and, go in there and put on a brave face and, do the things that got you here. You know what I mean? So she just, me and her, we talked for a couple of hours, and, I came in here the next day and, put the pedal to the metal and installed some different systems that I didn't have before to kind of maximize my business. And then, a friend of mine also, my friend Dustin down in Texas, he does credit repair too. He helped get me out of debt. He said, Terrell, I want you to start mentoring, about 16,000 CROs. We're going to put on a leads to clients course. And we did that. He sold it at $99 each, and we were able to sell 1,600 copies of it. So I did that because he knew I was good at sales and he knew I was good at closing. And he wasn't very good at it. And he had deep connections in the credit repair world. He put it together for me. So, it's been a good friend of mine since 2020. And I told him what was going on, that I was going to close the business and I was leaving the group and stuff. And he was like, nah, you ain't doing that. Look, this is what we're going to do. We're going to do this. I want you to put together, how you take a client from a lead all the way up to a sale, and then we're going to sell it to people. And then you just keep all the money. And I was like, what? Yes. He was like, yeah. So we end up making like $54,000 off of it total. Over the course of time, over the course from December, I think the first day we made 16 grand. And then the second day we made another 11. So that was 27. And then like throughout the course of a couple of months, we ended up, closing it out at 50 plus. And he let me keep every dime. So,
good man.
He's a good man. I'm always grateful to him. I spent some time with him down in Texas. I went to his wedding. So, spent some time with his wife, and, it was a really good time. So, I'm really appreciative of the people that I chose to put in my circle, because they don't let me quit either. So in that time, having good people around you and having good people that you can turn to and that you can talk to, and people that's just gonna have you back with they're not looking for anything in return. They just want you to be great.
Right. And it's important to surround yourself around winners, I mean, the word says, again, going back to my Bible, it says that iron sharpens iron as one should sharpen another. When you have people in your corner that are winners, there's no they don't like to lose.
They don't.
But when you hang out with a bunch of losers, that's all they do is lose. You
They're
know,
good
there's
at it.
a mentality out there and they're, you know, lazy. They don't work. They don't get up. They play video games all day long. They're grown men, grown women, complain about everything and don't do anything about their situation. And when you are surround yourself around people like that, it's like a virus. It's like a cancer. And so you choosing to keep, you know, winners in your circle is absolutely powerful. Like that is such like a huge nugget to take out of that come up. And Rico and I've been blessed to kind of see you come up. I mean, we've known you since early 2020. I think it was when we were introduced to you and you were doing
February.
great.
I was only open for like 4 weeks.
Yeah, yeah. So, we've seen your come up and we've seen your grind, your grit, and your passion, and we adore you. And we're just so thrilled to see your building come up. We're so thrilled to hear you on the radio. We're so thrilled to. Well, I can't wait for your TV
I
commercials.
can't wait
Haven't
for
seen
that.
that yet,
Yeah.
but
I'm excited.
anyways, we've done the first time homebuyers classes with you that we've been doing ever since 2020. And it's just, well, I don't think, well, 2021 was our first one with you, I believe, but
Yep.
we did it in 22, we did it in 23, and we've always had success. So we love that you are an iron sharpener in our crew, and we're just so thrilled for you.
Yeah. So much wisdom, so much business skills, so much perseverance out of this story. I appreciate you, Terrell. We're getting down to our last few minutes, but give you time to shine real quick. Where can people find you? Where can they reach you?
Gotcha. I appreciate that, Rico and Courtney. Thank you for being amazing as always. So you can find me on Facebook at Terrell Credit Guy Goode. Please feel free to bust a follow or an ad. I'm also on Instagram at Rel_the Credit Guy. You can also follow my business at Next Step Credit Repair. That's kind of where you can follow me. I'm on TikTok, but kind of vaguely. You know, it's Rel the Credit Guy on TikTok too. So, you know, I'm trying to make videos. I'm trying to learn how to do it.
Awesome. Well, thanks again, Terrell. We're good to go. Got anything else, darling?
Nope. Tell your wifey I said hi.
Yeah, tell Nigel.
I will. I'll let her know.
All right.
Peace.
Thanks for hanging with us.